going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the video. Today we're just going to briefly go over the toolbar and layers in Adobe Photoshop. So let's get right to it. So we're going to go ahead and start a new document, and we don't have to worry about that because we're just going to be playing around with this. Let's go ahead and unlock the layer and let's jump right in. I'm going to start on the right side with the layers because that's kind of the most important getting started with your document. So if you wanted to just go ahead and create a brand new blank layer, you're gonna actually go down to the bottom right. You're not gonna see it on this video because my little text or video box is gonna be there. But if you actually click on the little post-it note emblem, it's right next to the garbage can to the left of that. It's actually gonna give you a brand new canvas. So it just popped up, layer 1. So let's get rid of that now. And if you want to just duplicate a layer, just copy a layer. So I'll show you, this will make it easier if I draw something. If I want to just duplicate that red circle to another one, I could just hit Command J, and you see it says ellipse 1 copy. But if you don't have a Mac, it would be Control J. So whenever I say command and then something, it would be control and then something for you. Okay, so you can also duplicate multiple layers at a time. So if you want to go ahead and hit command or control, click on the other layer you want to duplicate so it highlights them both, you can go ahead and hit Command J again and it'll duplicate both of those at the same time. And I just brought that up just then. If you want to actually click, say I want to click on this and I want to skip 2 but I want to click on 1, I can hit Command and then click on that so I have those 2. And then an easier way, if you want to just highlight them all, you can actually hold Shift and then click on the bottom one and that'll highlight them all instead of going through holding Command, clicking them all. And then these little, if you look to the left, there's little eyeballs, and that just basically turns that layer off. It doesn't delete it, it just turns it off. So if I go ahead and obviously turn them all off, there's not going to be nothing there. So that just turns them off. If you want to be more organized within your document, which is actually very important to do because once you start getting 10, 20 plus layers, it's really confusing trying to scroll through all this and see where your specific layers that you want. So you can actually go ahead and say I want to do these first 3. I can go ahead, hold Shift, and I'm going to hit Command or Control G, and it's actually going to put them into a folder. And then I can hit that drop down arrow and it opens that up for you. And then you can also name them. So if I want to just hit red, name them red, right? And then you can also name individual layers. So red 1. So, and then in there we have all them. You can name whatever you want in there. And that's basically keeping yourself organized because it can get a mess in Photoshop. So let's go ahead and delete that. And I think that's it for layers right now. So I'm going to go ahead and jump over to the toolbar. The toolbar is basically just all your tools, different things you could do. It's kind of like one of the most important things in Photoshop. So let's go ahead and just get right started. So I'm going to rasterize this. All right, so the first one is just your simple moving tool, just your movement mouse tool. And you want to, a simple or tip is you want to make sure that you're on the layer that you want to move. So if I'm on this red layer, it's highlighted, I can move that circle around. But if I'm on layer 0, I'm going to be moving the background around, not that. So you just got to make sure you're on the layer that you want to move. I'm going to skip the second tool and move on to the third one because I'll come back to that. So this is just your lasso tools. You have your poly, your normal, and your magnetic. My favorite is the poly. It's just you can click wherever you want, click around if I want to make a weird shape out of this, and then I can double click to connect it, and then just hit the delete button, and it'll delete that shape. And then if I want to just go back and undo that, I can actually hold Command or Control Z, and that'll go back 1. And to get rid of these dotted lines, it would be Command D, and that'll get rid of them. And if I want to go back, I just brought that up. If I want to redo something, it's just Command Z 1 time. But if you want to go back multiple steps, it's going to be Command Option Z or Command Alt Z. So this is me going back multiple steps. Yeah, so let's move on to the next one. We have the regular lasso tool. This is just if you click and then just drag around. You can draw wherever you want to draw. I don't know why you would want to do that unless you're trying to actually outline something. So Command D, it gets rid of those, and then I can go back multiple steps to get out of that. The next one's just magnetic. It's not going to work too well on here because this is a circle. So like it's basically just, it'll connect to a border. So obviously it's a circle. It's just going to connect to the outside of it. So it's not really too special on a circle. But if you're trying to like cut out like a person out of a picture, then that's a good way to get them out of the picture. All right, now I'm gonna head back to this tool. This is basically the same thing, except in this case, it's shapes. So like if I want to drag out a square and then delete that corner out, I could do that. Same thing with a circle, same thing with those columns. So that's basically all that is. These also work in the same way as well. We have the magic wand and the quick selection tool. Again, it's not going to show it as good on just a circle, but the magic wand is you just tap something and then you could delete the inside of that. The quick selection tool is actually basically the same thing as the magic wand, except instead of tapping and it does it, you just can like draw. So if I want to take like all that or something, I mean, it's not showing it too well on here because it's just a circle. But if I had an actual picture and I'm trying to trace out a person, I can actually like trace him out and just get the person and not the background behind him or her. We got the next tool is just a simple crop tool. I rarely use this tool because I would just make my canvas size the way I want it. And once you crop it, you can just hit enter and then it would make your canvas size that. I rarely use it because I normally just would go up to image and then go canvas size and then you can size it different in there. I'm going to skip the next tool because that's one of my favorite tools, so I'm going to come back to that. Patch tool, I'm not going to be able to show you on here, but patch tool is basically just, for example, if you have a face with like pimples on it, you can actually circle one of those pimples and then pull it, like move it towards like an area of clearer skin, and it'll blend that and get rid of the pimple basically. So that's what the patch tool does. And I'm gonna skip this because this is just basic pens, pencils, drawing stuff, and then go right to the clone tool. Clone tool is basically similar to the patch tool. The clone tool is all you do is you hold option or alt and it's gonna bring up this little circle type bullseye looking thing, and then you're gonna click on an area that you want. So like again, going back to the pimple example, if I want to I'll click on clear skin area and then I'll go to the pimple and I'll draw it, and it'll basically be like cloning that clear skin that I just clicked on. All right, we're gonna just skip this because this is just again just more just paintbrush stuff. This is just your eraser tool, so if I want to erase a little bit, I could do that. And if you want to make the eraser bigger, you can just hit your brackets there to the right of the P button. You can just hit those, make it bigger, make it smaller. And a tip with that is just make sure your caps lock button is off, because if it's on, you can't make it bigger, because mine's on right now, so I can't make it bigger. But if it's off, I can make it bigger, smaller, anything you want. Next tool is just your simple paint bucket tool. Yeah, you can go down here and click. If I want this grayish color, I could do that, and then I could change it to gray. And a gradient tool is also in here, and the gradient tool is also one of my favorite tools. So I can just like hold this, pull it, and it'll make the background faded gray because that's my primary color right now. I can also go up here and pick gray and red because those are my two colors, and it would fade from gray to red. It's different things like that you could do. The next tool is your blur, sharpen, and smudge tools. So blur is straightforward. If you're going to look at the edge right here, I'm going to zoom in that for you. You can actually see it's blurring the edge. Zooming in, what I just did is just Command or Control plus, and then zooming out is obviously Command Control minus. And if you're like all the way out here, you could just actually hit Command 0 and it'll just bring you right back. So let's just get rid of that blur. Sharpen, straightforward. It's just going to sharpen it. It's not doing much on here. It's just a circle. And then the last tool is actually just your smudge. I'm not going to do it because it like takes a while to do, but you know what the smudge is. It'll smudge it. The next tool is actually your dodge. It's just going to make it lighter. So as you can see, it's getting lighter. And then it's your burn tool. It's going to make it darker. Simple tools, you know. This is just another type of pen tool you can use to go around. This is your text tool. You can type anything. So hello. I can highlight that, and I can highlight my fonts, and I can use my arrow keys to go through my fonts to easier way to see what you would like. Your point font, you have your alignment, your color, and then this is if you want, like, if I want to highlight this, and I could go here and I can pick arc, I could pick wave. It does all different things like that, so we're just going to cancel that now. And then right here is all your bolds, italicize. If you want your letters to be farther away, closer together, taller, shorter, there's all different things you could do within that. So let's just get rid of that from now. Next tool is just another sort of movement tool. It's just your mouse tool. This tool is your shapes tool. So you got rectangle, circle, line, and there's actually a custom shape tool. And then all your shapes would be here. And right now, I have all the shapes open, but if you don't have them, if you don't see them, you can actually hit this settings button and then just click all, and it'll show you all the shapes. All right. Hand tools, just another movement, rotating hand, just different movement tools, a lot of them. The magnifying glass is basically the same thing as what I showed you before. It's just command plus. That's just the same thing as the tool. Command minus is demagnifying it, I guess. And then this little arrow actually just switches like what colors. Like right now, the first one is like your primary. So if you grab the paint bucket tool, it's gonna do the red, but then you could switch it. You can click on them and do all sorts of different colors. You can go through all this. So many different colors to choose from. And that's basically it for the simple breakdown of the toolbar. So I think I'm gonna end the video here. I'll have further content coming. I'm gonna be like diving in deeper to each tool and different features within Photoshop, colors, the gradient tool, all different things. But from here on out, that's really all I got for you for this video. Thank you for being here for my first video. Thank you for watching. Peace.